Hello everyone, Tim here back with another video. 2012, uh, 2012 season is over, and the Super Bowl is almost a week away. But this video is for next season. Just some of my predictions for next season. I'm gonna make a video right now on the top 12 wide receivers for next year and the top 10 quarterbacks. These are just what I'm predicting for next year, who will be in the top 12 for each category. And I'm going to do the wide receivers first. At number 12, I'm predicting Eric Decker. I don't know much about Eric Decker at all. I only keep tabs on certain teams. But Eric Decker, I got him down for 1,120 yards, 7 touchdowns, 89 receptions, 298 yards after the catch, and 9 drops for next year. At number 11, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, Miles Austin. I know a little bit about the Cowboys because my father is a huge fan of Dallas. Miles Austin is probably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I got him down for 1,260 yards, 8 touchdowns, 95 receptions, 276 yards after the catch, and 9 drops. At number 10, wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, Julio Jones. Julio Jones, I've always liked him ever since I've seen him play. He's got a good quarterback throwing to him, Matty Ice. I got him down for 1,461 yards, 10 touchdowns, 103 receptions, 291 yards after the catch, and 8 drops. At number 9, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers, James Jones. I can say a lot about the Packers and James Jones. A lot of people that I've seen on YouTube think that James Jones is the best wide receiver for Green Bay Packers. I disagree. He's fast. He is, but he doesn't have very good hands. As I've seen, tends to drop a lot of balls. But he's number 9 on my list for next year. I'm predicting. I'm predicting that he's going to get 1,390 yards, 12 touchdowns, 99 receptions, 296 yards after the catch, and he's going to have 13 drops. At number 8, wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, Devin Hester. I'm predicting Devin Hester will get 1,460 yards next year, 8 touchdowns, 91 receptions, 288 yards after the catch, and 11 drops. At number 7, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant is probably the second best receiver to me on Dallas, behind Jason Witten, who is not a wide receiver. He's a tight end. But for all receivers, I think Jason Witten on the Dallas Cowboys is the best. Dez Bryant, have him down for 1,545 yards, 10 touchdowns, 107 receptions, 312 yards after the catch, and 8 drops. At number 6, wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, A.J. Green. I don't know a lot about the Bengals. I got a buddy who is a huge Bengal fan. He knows a lot about A.J. Green. That's his favorite player on the Bengals. But I think that next year AJ Green will get 1,468 yards, right around there, 12 touchdowns, 111 receptions, 303 yards after the catch, and only have 6 drops. At number 5, wide receiver for the New England Patriots, Wes Welker. I predict Wes Welker will have 1,535 yards, 9 touchdowns, 105 receptions, 335 yards after the catch, and 8 drops. At number 4, wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald. This past year, Cardinals were horrible. I mean, they couldn't seem to get anything going. But Larry Fitzgerald, in my opinion, is still one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I predict he's going to get 1,425 yards next year, 6 touchdowns, 98 receptions, 290 yards after the catch, and 7 drops. At number 3, wide receiver for the Chicago Bears, Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall, to me, is probably a top 5 receiver in the NFL out of all the receivers. I'm predicting he'll be at 1,660 yards, 7 touchdowns, 102 receptions, 287 yards after the catch, and 9 drops. At number 2, wide receiver for the Houston Texans, Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson is definitely a top 5 receiver.
Sorry, buddy.
Probably a top 3 or even maybe a top 2, maybe. I predict he'll get 1,647 yards, 8 touchdowns, 108 receptions, 310 yards after the catch, and 11 drops. At number 1, wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, Calvin Johnson. Last year, Calvin Johnson beat Jerry Rice's record in yards in a season. I think he had 1,900 something. But this year, I'm predicting he's going to have 1,835 yards, 7 touchdowns, 115 receptions, 350 yards after the catch, and 9 drops. I think Calvin Johnson is probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. If I had to pick the top 3, I'd probably say Calvin Johnson's number 1, Andre Johnson's number 2, and maybe Larry Fitzgerald's number 3. But just leave your comments below. All right, and see ya.